can say that we have yet achieved gender equality. I think there are still some inequalities that need to be addressed. But we are striving for a society of gender equality. So you and Franca, in your modern relationship with an independent woman, is the man still expected to provide?
Yes, the man is expected to provide in some aspect, not entirely in the relationship.
Oh, yeah, so which aspects?
It's an agreement we've had. Let's say, okay, so you take care of the house expenses, and I take, if we have kids, I take care of the school fees of the children and whatever you. Yeah,
I see. Okay. Yeah. All right. But she's independent, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She is. But in as much as she is independent, you as a man also, would have to, do your part by way of your responsibilities.
But why would she allow you to do that? Because the minute you start providing something she ought to provide for herself as an independent woman, you are curtailing her independence, aren't you?
Am I?
Well, that's the question we would like to answer today. Because I think independence is something that should not be subject to definition. Right? It should be a very clearly defined thing.
I agree with you.
We should all know what it means to be independent. It means you don't depend on anyone. So if you have kids, you don't depend on anyone to look after your kids. If you have a house, you don't depend on anyone to look after your house. If you have a car, you don't depend on anyone to look after your car. In fact, you acquire them yourself. You don't depend on anyone to provide them for you. That's independence. If a man says, I am independent, that's what you expect him to mean.
Yeah.
And that is what women mean when they say they are independent. They mean they don't depend on anyone to provide for them.
Yeah.
So if that is who she is, why should she allow you, a mere man, to come and pay her bills?
Kojo, so the thing is, as I said earlier, it is an agreement we've had. In as much as she's an independent woman, there is part of the bargain I would have to fulfill. Exactly. So it's an agreement we've had.
So she has agreed to compromise some of her independence for you.
Exactly.
So she's depending on you as a favor to you. Franca, forgive us, okay? We are forgive us for dragging you into this. I'm sure you had no expectation of that this morning. Yes, indeed. But that's our relationship conversation for today. We want to understand, as society evolves, we need to calibrate things. We need to calibrate our relationships, understand what it means to be in a modern relationship, with a modern woman, an independent woman, how to be a modern man in such a relationship,
Yeah.
So today we will define some terms on the show. It should be interesting.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's get to it. First, we're grateful to Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. We're grateful to them for bringing us the 6 a.m. bulletin. And it's time now for the Joy Business Report, courtesy of Glyco Life Travel Insurance. Glyco, we cushion you for life. Now, travel can be safe, it can be fun, but you need to cover your back. Get yourself some Glyco Life Travel Insurance so that you have cover in case of a medical or a medical emergency, including COVID cover. You also get personal 24-hour assistance services, replacement for lost baggage, passport, driving license, ID card, or any consular document. You also get cover for personal accident, personal liability, compensation for trip cancellation or curtailment, and losses and delays that last over 4 hours. Call Glyco Life on 0302 218 500 or WhatsApp them on 020 2222 113 for travel insurance policy that best suits your needs and an enjoyable travel in absolute peace of mind. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Hello everyone, warm welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up, economist Professor John Gachi urges government to expedite action on securing an IMF deal as government exempts individual pensioners bondholders from the domestic debt exchange program to restore confidence in the economy. Also, significant amount of petroleum products expected under the Gold for Oil program next week. We will hear from the Deputy Energy Minister Andrew Ejapamesa. And on today's Friday Journal, we will tell you how some commercial drivers face challenges in getting their claims from insurance companies after an accident. These and many others shortly. Pleasure you could stay on. I am Pius, Kojo Backah, to our very first story. The Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business School, Professor John Gachi, has advised government to move immediately with the rest of the processes left to secure an IMF deal. He made the comments after the Finance Minister Ken Ufuriata assured individual pensioners bondholders that they have been exempted from the domestic debt exchange program. Speaking to Joy Business, Professor Gachi stated that it is time for Ghanaians to support the government to quickly secure a deal with the IMF to bring the economy back on track.
The idea about debt exchange program and a voluntary debt exchange program is that it is those who are affected who have to agree or not to agree. The indication is that majority of the category of debt holders have agreed, but the idea of pensioners involving in the debt exchange program is as if we are callous towards the contribution of pensioners and livelihood of pensioners. So that have been sorted out. So I believe we can move forward.
Professor John Gachi there. Now, more petroleum products are expected under the Gold for Oil program this week. The supplies this time will have a significant amount of petrol after the first 40,000 tons of gold for the exchange arrived last month for diesel. Andrew Ejapamesa is Deputy Minister of Energy and has been speaking on PM Express Business Edition.
I've heard the Chief Executive indicate that they are expecting some consignment of petroleum products, both diesel and petrol, if you like.
And this time we are getting petrol, right?
Yes.
And any fair in terms of the quantity that you're looking at? Yes.
Well, I'm aware that I believe it's in the region of 120,000 metric tons. Yes.
For both put together?
Precisely. And obviously, as based on their own market analysis and the framework that the MPA has put in place, the intention is to ramp up. Bear in mind that Go Energy is also a player in there to about 50% of the market, because these two BDCs, if you like, control that quantum. And the expectation is that if you even do a blend of some commodity that is bought outside the framework with commodity that is bought within the framework, you can still strike an average that then still is beneficial to the consumer.
Deputy Energy Minister Andrew Ejapamesa speaking on PM Express Business Edition. And of course, you can catch a repeat of the show today at 11 a.m. on the Joy News channel. Talking about the commodities, crude oil dropped marginally to open trading at $84 a barrel. Gold is selling at $1,827.30 an ounce after losing about $9. Cocoa went up by $15 and trading at $2,747 a ton. Now, consumer price inflation reached high levels in 2022 last year, starting from 13.9% to 54.1%, crossing government's target of a single-digit inflation. This is attributed to several factors, including increase in crude oil prices and drastic fall of the local currency against major trading currencies. In the following report, we tell you whether the current rate of 53.6% indicates a peak or Ghana should expect a higher inflation moving forward.
After January, food inflation was higher than non-food for all months of the year 2022. The widest gap between food and non-food inflation was recorded in December with a 9.8 percentage point, with the lowest being 0.4 percentage points in January. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, between January and December 2022, the change in the overall year-on-year rate was 4.2 percentage points, with household equipment and maintenance recording the highest rate of increase. Although the month of January 2023 recorded a lower rate due to exchange rate stability and deflation in price of transportation, it is still uncertain whether inflation has peaked considering the current increases in some commodity prices. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobneinim explains.
Given the reversal, one can argue that we've peaked, but one can also argue that it's a short-term peak or a long-term peak. And this is what we always need to be careful about. So we've seen a reversal at a point 54.1% and now 53.6%.
The month-on-month inflation fluctuated in 2022, peaking at 8.6% in November and lowest at 1.9% in August.
Now, the executive chairman of IDEC Digital, Ambrose Yena, has called on business leaders and SMEs to invest in artificial intelligence. Speaking at the launch of the IDEC AI Center of Excellence, he explained that artificial intelligence will significantly increase productivity and boost service delivery of businesses. He further cautioned that failure to keep up with current technological trends could greatly reduce productivity.
Technological development has caught up with us, and everybody has to move along with it, especially in the business sector, so that if businesses do not move along with technology such as this to aid their work, increase efficiencies and profitability, within a very short time, their businesses will go underground. So it's very important that executives of all business entities buy into this and get their top brass executive trained as to the importance of embarking on this developmental journey. So this center coming up as a training facility is open to everybody.
Ambrose Yena is executive chairman of IDEC Digital. More on technology, and of course the technological consultant Maximus Ametogo is urging the youth and young graduates to leverage technology and acquire soft and employable skills to enable them acquire jobs or create their own businesses. According to him, acquiring soft skills through technology will provide the youth with an added advantage in the job market. He was speaking at an industry academia technology dialogue.
Irrespective of the industry you are in or the course you are reading, you have to see how technology can boost that particular skills or qualification. So if you need to do some online courses or go for some training in addition to the certification that you are trying to acquire, it will be of benefit to you, because there are lots of reports that shows that the labor force will require digital skills for you to even have a sustainable job. If you don't have digital skills, nobody wants to employ you, because they are going to deploy a lot of technology in their processes and in their work.
That was a technology consultant, Maximus Ametogo there. I remind that you're still listening to the Joy Business Report with me, Pius, Kojo, Backah. On today's Friday Journal, some commercial and private drivers are unhappy with what they describe as a cumbersome processes in getting claims from insurance companies after an accident. According to them, the National Insurance Commission should streamline the activities of insurance companies to help them get their claims on time. They also called for the digitalization of the process. In my opinion, it depends on the insurance company the driver is registered with. I have no problem with my insurance company. They are always at your service when you call on them. They do not delay in paying your insurance claims when it matures. I do not agree with claims that motor insurance is of no benefit. This is because the comprehensive policy covers the driver in terms of motor accident, but the third-party policy does not.
Other drivers disagree with the assertion of John on the state of vehicle insurance in Ghana.
Oh, the computer is good. There is a modernization. Everything going up. It's good. But right now, it's a human being. By all means, you negotiate. We deal with people and talk.
Majority of these drivers, both commercial and private, say they do not see the benefit of vehicle insurance in the country.
We as drivers do not benefit from the insurance we purchase because it is difficult to follow up with the insurance provider for assistance when there are problems with the vehicle, such as scratches or dents. It is exhausting to travel there and return without assistance.
If it expires and you renew it, then you get into trouble. The insurance companies won't help you, so there is no benefit of insurance in Ghana. This is so because you would have to run errands and be thrown around frequently until you get tired of it and cease doing so. They won't mind if you visit their offices every day. And when that happens, you feel weary and quit doing it. We want the government to communicate with the insurance providers to assist the drivers and passengers.
Some link it to the delays in the payment of claims and to a large extent the unwillingness of some insurance companies to pay these claims. According to these drivers, they only show interest in vehicle insurance because it is mandatory and enforced by the police.
The increments, I think I hear the insurance increase the fees, but we don't support because we don't have any benefit. When your car get accident, don't have any benefit from insurance. Our mind, we don't think about the insurance because at times almost see it.
The drivers express discontent with comprehensive insurance as it is expensive compared to income levels and want more transformative dialogue for proper measures to push for insurance penetration. For Joy Business, James Ishen.
Let me quickly update you by way of currency, and 12 cedis 75 pesos should get you $1 this morning. The British pound is going for 15 cedis 36 pesos. The euro, on the other hand, is selling at 16 cedis 64 pesos. These are based on the average rates at the commercial banks offered to their clients. Well, when you turn to the Forex Bureau, $1 is going for 13 cedis.